they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street, they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh, yo, yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout. Oh, yo, yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo. Mayegun don't come, man of the masses. Oh, yo, yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh, yo, yo.
Hello there.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun làwa mọ̀, làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Good morning to you once again, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining me from. This is Mayegun live again. Please read the caption of the broadcast, the description of the broadcast, which is a little bit, shorter than usual, right? Hear it. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun today. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are joining this, I want you to know that there is another mass kidnapping of school children that took place in Nigeria today, and you haven't seen any rage anywhere, not even around the world. Over 200 people were kidnapped in Borno State IDP camp yesterday. No rage, no alarm, no nothing. Today, more than 100 school children have been kidnapped. I bet many of you didn't even hear about it. Did you? For those who know Bulama Bukati, read this tweet. In Kaduna. Motide. Now, good morning to you once again, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live. Ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon, we were on Mayegun's Diary Political Noon program, and we were talking about the silence, the graveyard silence, the numbness of Nigerians. Not even their government has made any single statement about the incident that took place in Borno yesterday. Everyone is currently busy with, as they will say, everybody is busy with their own life right now. Nigeria is showing everybody shaggy. Nobody knows if people got kidnapped anywhere or care. And even if they do, if they did know, what would they do? I mean, reaction is not, not even like your government has mentioned this. things has gotten so bad that even you watching me right now, except if you have your family, if you go missing, except you have a family member or your family members that are going to speak out and, call for help, Nigeria doesn't give a damn about you, whether you go missing or you get killed. And this is the situation of Nigeria as we speak. Kariga village is called where school children, after their school morning devotion, those morning assembly stuff, right? Terrorists wafted into their country. Into their school. And as we speak, nobody is for certain. Has known for certain the amount of, the number of people kidnapped. Even though a young child was actually shot by the terrorists while they were kidnapping the school children. Mass school kidnapping is never gone. They just did their best to make sure that nobody will make it an issue anymore in Nigeria. And as you are listening to this, just in case if you don't know and you need to know, okay, everyone in Nigeria right now is just an awaiting victim. Put it this way. You see, those who survived yesterday, they are the expected victims of what will happen today. Now, to those of you who have survived today, tomorrow is another day. Every day, every one of us is close to an end created by APC. So right now, by the way, in northern Nigeria, one of the evidence wreck that the terrorism has left, in that part of the country is the poverty created by the industry, the terrorism industry, which has become so lucrative up north, right? There are people who are their, the people who are their victims. The people they are kidnapping, Nigerians, right? Majority of them, if not all, have always been left on their own. They've been left to themselves. And in fact, they have been left at the mercy of the terrorists, their kidnappers. So many victims of this kidnapping industry up north, in order for them to secure the release, the freedom of their own loved ones kidnapped, whether students, whether their children kidnapped from their schools, or their family members kidnapped there while they are traveling, or those who got kidnapped on their farms, they've always been at the mercy of their kidnappers. Nigeria, except for when the news, when it makes it to the news like this, and you and I have to hear about it, react to it, and as helpless as we have become, right, we wait for the next victims. You see those surviving victims up north, right? Majority of them will continue to live with the trauma. They have become poorer, selling off all their properties, land, houses, and all that, just to raise money, ransom money to pay to terrorists up north. For those who are familiar with the happenings in that part of the country, they will tell you that the criminal politicians from that part of the country are only interested in using the insecurity of the place, which they created. They are only interested when it is politically, politically profitable. Immediately after that, they don't need any of their political leverage or whatever anymore, right? All these things seems just not to be happening. Okay, so children who have been kidnapped now, right? The president of your country, which is Tifnumbu, a lot will tell you that since Buhari never did anything, so nobody should ask Kolu to do anything. And listen, what that simply means is that the terrorists up north, who operated there so freely and brazenly with reckless abandon, right? Under Buhari, they still have that same leverage. That is the message. The message is that APC, the terrorist Al-Qaeda People's Congress, okay, which are shown over time that the terrorists are more important than the Nigerians that they claim to be leading or ruling or ruining, okay? So that you felt like it was because Buhari, a Fulani jihadist, gave room or gave way to the terrorists that were terrorizing Nigeria in the last 8 years. Now that Buhari is gone, then it's not going to be business as usual. Then maybe you would have to have a rethink now, because it is business continua, aluta continua. So far so good. Apart from the pocket of reactions here and there that is more or less, staged by the Nigerian military, the terrorists continue to advance. And in fact, they have established their authorities over Nigeria a while back. And as of today, there seems not to be any challenges towards that. Mass school kidnapping is back. And I do remember when it was so much in vogue under Buhari, I said, just like the Fulani terrorists that are now kidnapping our people, invading our communities, sending our people out of their communities. I'm talking about even from far away, places that are far away from northern Nigeria, right? Places that does not share any border with northern Nigeria, right? So back then, when people believed that it would never get to them, we said something about that this afternoon, right? There are lots of people who believes that this terrorism 8 years ago would never, ever cross the border and get to the southern part of Nigeria. A lot of them know better today. So you see mass school kidnappings by terrorists in Nigeria became something so very well in vogue under Buhari that they could move 300 school children. They could move over 150 village people, and undetected in the Nigerian forest up north. Until when they are gone, that's when we heard the news. Oh, Boko Haram or Fulani terrorists, they have kidnapped 300 people, or they have kidnapped 200 people. And you'll be wondering, how did they manage to move all that number of people undetected in Nigeria? So a lot of people were like, that their sponsor are those in government. Whenever they were attacking places, right? And people start calling, sending out SOS, save our soul messages. Please help us. So terrorists are attacking us. So the Nigerian military, the Nigerian police, they will all look away until the terrorists have killed and burned and destroyed, and they are gone. Then the people who are the survivors, by the time they begin to gather themselves to go after the terrorists, that is when the Nigerian military will show. That is when the Nigerian security agencies will show. So once the security agents, they will show up and they'll begin to pick everybody, all the young people, able-bodied men and women that survived that attack. But during the attack, you will never see them. So compromised security system did allow the terrorists to have a sort of a free ride all over Nigeria. And to those of you who lives in southern part of Nigeria, now you know better. Now you know that they can actually kidnap your father, your mother, your family members, your friends, your neighbor, your business, your co-workers could be kidnapped just right there at the heartland of your southern part of Nigeria without you having to travel to the northern part of Nigeria. The terrorism actually came, it has finally came home to roost. So in the last 8 years under Buhari, they legalized, they legitimized the Islamic terrorist and terrorism, the Fulani jihadist terrorism, and every other act of genocide, ethnic cleansing, every means of, killing people every means was, employed. Then Kolu told you that he will continue from wherever Buhari stops. Kolu took over. And immediately Kolu took over, you will think, oh, there should be some level of calm. At least let the terrorists know now that there is a new guy in place. and therefore there will be no mileage in that route that they are taking. Whatever they enjoyed under Buhari, they will not enjoy that under Tifnumbu. Well. More and more people are being killed every day. And the only thing, like your economy, everything else, Kalu is telling everybody that they should relax and give him time. This problem didn't start today. On one hand, though, then on the other hand, they will say, let us thank President Bola Tifnumbu, because if not for President Bola Tifnumbu, the security situation in Nigeria wouldn't have improved. Abashe security in Nigeria has improved. Can you actually swear on your life? Can you swear on your life that security has improved under Tifnumbu? Can you? Just the same way they are currently telling you, if not for Tifnumbu, they say things would have even gone worse than this. Although the same Ashiris that told you that you should give Buhari time and give him chance because PDP destroyed Nigeria for 16 years. Okay, so you needed to give Buhari time. They told you to give him time, and they watched him destroy the country, divided the country, and in fact, left it as more divided than ever, right? Now, the same rogues are coming back to tell you to give Tifnumbu chance because guess what? Buhari has destroyed Nigeria. When did he destroy Nigeria? Did he destroy Nigeria after handing over to Tifnumbu? Because until the day he handed over to Tifnumbu, it was still the best thing that ever happened to Nigeria after sliced bread. I'm talking about the Abobakus, the Buhari idiots, the cyberbarians. And they are the same people who have now changed to bad starts, bad idiots right now, and telling you that, oh, you were right. Buhari actually destroyed Nigeria. Really? So listen to me. They are the same set of people that will tell you that whatever is happening right now is not happening. It's being exaggerated. It's not that bad. In fact, thank God for Tifnumbu. And these guys, they do this every now and then. Even you, maybe say you are inside the contraption with them, you will read some things that this guy says sometimes, and you'll be like, are they talking about this place or another place? Are they talking about this Nigeria or another place? Yes, that's how much they do not respect any one of you, unfortunately. So school kidnapping, mass kidnapping is back. And if you think the people that have the audacity to walk into a community, Kaduna State has the highest presence of the Nigerian security agents. Their headquarters, their buildings here and there in Kaduna. Kaduna is where you have the NIA, the DEA, the DSSC, the police college, the police training this, the military Air Force base here, the military disorder. I'm talking about almost every security agency in Nigeria has their headquarters or something in Kaduna, but yet the same Kaduna is where the Fulani terrorists, Boko Haram terrorists, have been able to slaughter a section of the state unchallenged, unabated, as in unchallenged. Southern Kaduna fell under the APC. It was under them that the terrorists also invaded the military armory in Kaduna. People where they guide guns, guide weapons. Nigerian military guiding the weapons of the Nigerian military. They ran away from their weapons, ran into the forest when the Fulani and the Boko Haram terrorists appeared under Buhari. So under Tifnumbu, people who have the audacity to walk into a school and kidnap school children for God knows what. Men, they kidnap school children under Goodluck Ebere Jolantan. Goodluck Ebere Jolantan lost power because Chibok girls were kidnapped. And the politics around it, the orchestrator, the person behind the Chibok girls kidnapping is now the vice president of Nigeria today. Shitty man. Shitty man, the brain behind the Chibok kidnapping is the vice president of Nigeria today. So when Jonathan lost his power, you would think that must never happen again. Then you started having the Dapchi girls in Yobe, the Kankara boys in Kasina, the Kagara girls, Kagara boys school, also in Kasina, Abi. Where hundreds and hundreds of school children were kidnapped from their schools. And what do you think Buhari did for that 8 years? There was no real fight against the terror. It was to unleash further terror on the rest of the country by forcing the country to try to placate and appease terrorists. That was what Buhari did under Tifnumbu. Tifnumbu marked, according to him, 500,000 hectares of land to be used for Ruga. Did you know that? I'm glad that they are yet to actually say they are reserving any of those, hectares of land for Ruga in any part of Yoruba land. We haven't seen them. We haven't heard them dare to do that. But they've announced, they said, yeah, they are already building Ruga in Jigawa. That was what Ifnumbu said. In order to placate the Fulani terrorists, he announced that he will give them 500,000 hectares of land. It will be developed into ranches for them. I haven't seen them around my place, and I hope they will never dare come around my place, which is Yoruba land. And that's Tifnumbu. So school kidnapping, like now everybody knows that you could get kidnapped in any part of Nigeria today, all right, by Fulani terrorists and their co-workers, right? And there is nothing you can do than to go and raise money and pay the ransom. 8 years ago, that will only be a dream, or they will say an imagination. It will never happen. That was why they wanted Nnamdi Kanu killed, because according to them, Nnamdi Kanu is trying to incite you against the terrorists that have taken over your country. APC. Egbe. So when Nnamdi Kanu was talking about you are going to pay ransom, you will run away from your villages. You will be kidnapped right there within your space, not when you go to the jihadist den in Nigeria. And it came to pass. But before then, they told you, how dare he was trying to make you hate them. He was trying to make you know that stuff. But today you are used to that, Abi, where people are now screaming, where is government? What you haven't seen yet in the southern part of Nigeria is to witness mass school kidnapping. You will witness it. I promise. Because if you understand, for those who have been following all of this in the past, right? If you check how vulnerable they have made all this part of the southern part of Nigeria in particular, how vulnerable they have made you, right? You will understand that these terrorists have the capacity to walk straight into any part of southern Nigeria and say, okay, they want to attempt to kidnap school children. And because you think it will never happen, well, it will happen, okay? Just like you said, kidnapping by Fulani terrorists. Fulani terrorists kidnapped kings in Yoruba land. They killed kings in Yoruba land. This will be things that you would never imagine ever happening, ever. What the Fulani terrorists haven't done is to kill a first-class Oba. They will kill a first-class Oba soon. Do you understand that now? Because all the things that makes you so comfortable to say you can live in denial of what is happening in Nigeria, so far they're happening in far away. That's their business, family business. I am a Yoruba man. I have not witnessed the kidnapping or killing of any Yoruba by Fulani terrorists when I started talking. And since I have started raising the alarm and talking, I have seen a lot happened. I have seen my people not only kidnapped and ransom paid, I have seen my people chased out of their own community where the government the supposed government that should be caring for you, protecting you, just look the other way. Under Buhari, Yorubas became refugees in Benin Republic. Pobe, I won't stop sharing this video. To those of you who always confidently and maybe foolishly or ignorantly will tell yourself, that is their problem. It's not our problem. Today, these criminals are destroying farms that people kind of borrowed money to cultivate. Farms, multi-million naira farms are being destroyed by these Fulani terrorists. But that's something you think is impossible. It would never happen. How could the Fulanis make Yorubas refugee outside Yoruba land? How is that even possible? This happened just about 2.5 years ago. Don't ever forget.
Due to that crisis, Fulani crisis that was occurred at our country. That's the reason why we migrated to this place. We are forcefully migrated to this place due to that.
By force.
By force. It's not by willingness.
Women. Oh, man or women. How much are us, man or women?
Only you.
Are dying here.
Both the women and men migrated from that area.
No.
And
how
then
much?
people died.
But I say how many people they killed there?
Okay.
Yeah.
There are few many people. But that our many people. Many people have lost their lives. People are still migrating because of that. At Kaduna and all other areas.
What happened?
It's because of the Fulani crisis. Fulani, they are killing the people anyhow.
They are killing the people.
Anyhow. They will move from any from one village to another. They will migrate from one place to another. They just keep people. That's the reason why the people are scared. They move down to the
Women, children. I remember that so vividly well. Yoruba Union had to send a truck with food, clothing, shoes. That's how people actually gathered. We had to put them together and we went down looking for them in Pobe. Ogun State government, Nigeria government, and you watching me from Ogun State, a lot of people just felt like, some didn't even know it happened. And they can confidently tell you, it will never happen here. My Papa, see, let's be honest. Let's shake it. Don't stop being crazy, okay? Because you're not being honest. You are living in denial. Denial does not mean the problem doesn't exist or it will just go away. In fact, the problem first starts simply because a lot of your leaders too, they lived in denial. Denial of, how could that even possible? Is that even possible? I have a video where, what's his name again? Akpabiole was talking about the killings in Benue. And he was talking about their governor. Here, I'll show you.
On behalf of the Senate, thank the single Senator Odende for bringing this to the fore. And also to sympathize with the victims of these latest attacks that seems to be going on unabated. A situation where over 50 people are being killed in a day will not be pleasing to anybody, including even the leadership of the country. So now that you have brought this to the fore, I believe the service chiefs are listening, the commanders and all the other security chiefs engaged in keeping security in those areas, particularly in Benue State, are also listening. I also believe the governor of Benue State, whose primary responsibility is to use security votes to ensure the security of lives and properties in Benue State, is also listening. It's a fact. The first line of thought is the government of Benue State. And as Senator then they brought it forward, I have not heard any comment from the government of Benue State. If 50 people are killed, or more than 50, and communities are being attacked, we will expect that the governor will either cry out or marshal out plans with the immediate security operatives within the Benue State to see what he can do before we start bringing the issue to the president. And I want to also assure you that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, though he has not stayed long in office, is very concerned and supportive of the armed forces. And by the time the Senate meets with him, in conjunction with the House of Representatives, I believe that the resolutions that will come out with will benefit the entire country. It's a fact that, yes, since his assumption of duties, insecurity has abated. Major attacks are no longer taking place, but this one is just an aberration, and it will be brought to an end. Senator Odende, I assure the good people of the areas affected that this matter is now before the floor of the Senate and that we are taking serious actions. We work with the presidency to ensure that normalcy is restored in those areas, and particularly the victims are also catered for. So, gentlemen, can we now rise to observe 1 minute silence to honor the souls of the departed?
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
Did you see that mockery? It is a pure mockery. He said, listen to this one. Oh. In the same sentence, Akpabiole said that it is like unacceptable that 50 people are being killed almost every day. That's unacceptable. Then he went on to say, oh, President Tifnumbu, even though he is new, we know that the insecurity issue has abated. This one is just an aberration. It's just an error. It's just, how you they take mad like this? 50 people are being killed every day, averagely, and this is just being generous. Then the security situation is under control now. It's getting better. How can the situation of a country be getting better, but terrorists are killing more than 50 people every day? How? In the same sentence, in the same video. Just try your best not to be killed. That is the best advice that anybody can give anybody now. When anybody says, say, shall try, make sure say you are not kidnapped. Do your best and make sure say you are not killed. If you are kidnapped or killed, well, Nigeria just happened to you be that too. You are on your own. Okay? Somebody said all talks, no action is what the politicians are, is who they are, right? Of course, it's who they are. Now, those where they listen or believe them or expect them that they actually mean anything they say, now them are the PTO. Akpabiole just dropped his own line there and he's done his and he's just going to, you know what I mean? Until the next one, when people will raise alarm again and say, they have killed us again, no, and all that. So do your best and make sure, say, you are not killed. And you are not kidnapped. If any of this happens, well, you know what that means, right? Because the other victims who have been who are before you, suffered the same fate. And it is a fate that, like the accursed Nigerian, you only exist for the existence sake. You are to exist. You are not to be seen. And if you are to be seen, you are not to be heard. That is the definition of a Nigerian. If you ask me, that would be it. People are dying. We just talk about it like, like it's saying now people die every day. Normal. Terrorists are kidnapping women, children, raping them, forcing them into family ways, right? And in Nigeria, it isn't a crime. It is, when they return back, they call them repentant terrorists. Repentant. And they will say repentant terrorists and their family. Who married these children to these terrorists? They kidnapped them, raped them, put them in family ways, right? Truncated their growth, truncated their education for their Islamic jihadists. Islamic jihadism. Then they return back to that same place and the government of that country. And the people in that government have their own children. They announced and said, the terrorists have repented and they are there with their family. Who are their family? And wives and children. These are victims of terrorism who have now become wives of terrorists that are receiving red carpet in Nigeria. Operation Safe Corridor. Safe Corridor. Who gives a safe corridor to terrorists in the first place? You do not negotiate with a terrorist and you do not give them safe corridor. You extinguish them. You what? But not in Nigeria. Billions of Nigeria money was set aside to be spent on the rehabilitation of repentant terrorists or more. Rather than for the terrorism to abate or reduce, it has gotten worse. It has gotten so worse that the Federal Capital Territory in Nigeria, Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory, Nigeria's headquarters, I be waiting you go call them, has been overrun by the kidnappers, Fulani terrorists. To the point that these criminal politicians who ran away from their different constituencies and living in Abuja, abandoned their people in the war front there. These guys are now complaining that Abuja is not safe anymore because terrorists could walk straight into your house. Not armed robbers, terrorists. Break into your home, drag you and your family out straight into the bush, unchallenged. It's like a terrorist walking straight into London and then straight into people's homes and drag them out and take them straight into the bush. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. So these guys are complaining now that they are not safe in Abuja anymore. But yet, Akpabiole would love you to believe that Nigeria is getting better under Tifnumbu. They will destroy you. You will be there unable to actually do anything if you continue to believe them. And when they are done with you, they will later tell you, Tifnumbu actually killed you. Now you know die. So just wait for another person to destroy you because that one will do better than this. Abby? I'll take a break. It's called drink a break. Here is a Showore and Deji. Yesterday, after the law school called to law school, I've been a call to graduating set or so, right? So they were passing in front of the EFCC office in Abuja. And this happened. I'll be back.
I will buy job.
Which job?
Which job you won't buy?
Which job is that? Which job? We don't put my bar begin the talk. Which job? It's not the public business. What they talk about? Not the public business. It's not a public business. Is it not a public business? What is he talking about? Which EFCC?
Any job?
Which job?
Any job?
Which job? You know they do wait for people there outside.
You already obsessed.
We dey pass. You know they look for our problem. We dey pass. We got to
obsessed with the position.
We dey pass with the operation.
People not to pass.
Which kind of that? What's the concern you with us? We dey pass. We enter on our office.
What's wrong with you?
to buy. Never
Are you forgetting that you're professional? You are not professional at all.